an engaged advocate for gender equality, and a mother of 3 young children. During the past 15 years, she has been involved with a variety of causes, including teenage self-esteem, women and girls' rights and freedoms, eating disorders, and mental health. Recipient of the 2013 UN Women National Committee Canada Recognition Award for her contribution to human rights, she was recently named as an influencer for the Deliver for Good campaign of Women Deliver. She lent her support to the Canadian Mental Health Association, Plan Canada, Because I Am a Girl initiative, Fit Spirit Foundation, and Parks Canada as honorary guide for families. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous prie de vous joindre à moi pour accueillir très...
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Madame Sophie Grégoire Trudeau.
Merci, Caroline.
Thank you, Caroline. Good afternoon, everyone.
Here, should I say who told me this? But about 2 minutes ago, before entering, Helen, excuse me, said you are going to enter a room full of geeks. And I said, well, I married one, so I don't have a problem with that. Ay, ay. So much has happened in the past 2 years. I was driving, well, I wasn't driving, but I came from Montreal this morning and I was reading an article, referring to an article in Science magazine that was saying that there is more research and data coming out on prehistoric times and about the role of women in prehistoric times and how they contributed to the evolution of our species in what they were doing in their daily routines. And they were saying how the knowledge that they had about the land, the medicinal plants, their surroundings, how much they participated in the core and the nucleus of their families and of the evolution of our human race in so many ways. And we have always thought of prehistoric times as a very patriarchal organization, but the data and the research, as you know, that you guys love so much and that I love so much, is now showing us that a very long time ago, we were very, very much aware and informed on our own bodies. And then modern medicine obviously pushed all of those limits and gave us even more knowledge. But you know, as you already know, modern medicine started with doctors only studying the male body. And it came way too late in many areas where we started to study the female bodies. And doctors are saying still today that the reason why we learned so much is obviously, yes, because of research and science, but because women were telling their stories and they were sharing their inner wisdom, they were sharing their knowledge and their own experiences. And when we share our stories and when we become vulnerable, something amazing happens. And I think you know this by whatever you live in your daily lives. And we don't know each other personally. I would like to look at everyone in their eyes and acknowledge that we are all together on this path for more justice, for more equality, and for more knowledge concerning health, because as a government or whatever kind of work that we do on this planet, when we work from the root cause of problems, we are uniting our efforts to make sure that we can work more preventatively. Prevention is key, and knowledge allows for prevention. So I can't thank you enough for your dedication, for your connaissance, as we say, pour tout ce que vous faites dans votre travail au quotidien pour améliorer la...
For everything that you do in the course of your daily work to better serve children and women. It is so important. It is so much appreciated. And I think for the last 2 years, perhaps more, likely more, we finally are able to pool all of our efforts and paving the way forward in order to advance the health of women and children, and that Canada is indeed becoming a leader and a pillar stone as to the model and example that the world is drawing inspiration from. They are looking at us, and it's wonderful. Here in this country, we have to nourish and foster these efforts.
Reach its full bloom if it's not shared. And we have so many amazing brains here in Canada and so much amazing research and data and knowledge being all put together and shared that we need to continue to set benchmarks, to put those stepping stones so that other countries can look at what we're doing and that they can follow. Because there's a lot of good intentions out there. Very easy to be cynical these days, but there's a lot of good people wanting to unite their efforts and get together to get the real work done. And this is why CanWatch is doing extraordinary work. I am an influencer for Women Deliver, and I'm so amazed by that intention of sharing successes, of not keeping all this to ourselves. What's the point? And it doesn't matter which stripes you're from, that's all wind, it's nothing. When we unite our expertise, we can go further together, so much more. And it's only by being together that we become one and that we create more unity and harmony in this world. Gender equality, as you know, has a cost. But the good news is that research is showing and data is showing that by 2025, by simply investing in advancing women's equality, we could add $12 trillion to the global GDP. Just think about that. I mean, it's complex, but it's also a possibility. And we are at so many turning points on this planet right now for growth. But the only way we can do that is that girls and women and men have to be involved in a more open-hearted, open-minded, less toxic notions of what femininity is and what masculinity is, and that by binding our efforts and by uniting and understanding how we are equals, but also how much we complement one another, and that we can form a team that at the end of the day and at the end of 10 years or in 1,000 years, who knows, we will look back one day and think, how did we ever think we were so separate? And there are so many lessons right now that we're learning on this planet, and we're witnessing it, of people uniting for goodness. And we must, because the winds are strong and the darkness is there. But if we're here today and we're all in this room, it's because goodness prevails, and I will always believe that goodness will prevail. Doesn't mean it's easy, because the most difficult paths are the most enriching one. And let us feel fear, because that's normal, but let us continue towards creating more evidence-based policies in progressive democratic countries so that we can inspire other people to follow us on this path. Now, I hope we'll all see you in June 2019 in Vancouver, because it is going to be the world's largest conference and bringing all the great minds and hearts to the table and bringing so many young people who don't have the opportunity to assist. We're working so hard with Katja Everson at Women Deliver to make sure that so many people who don't have access will have access, and it won't be a closed-in community, because we all know that in our own areas of expertise, sometimes it's a little bit closed in, but now we share the work, we share the knowledge, we share it with everybody so that it resonates, and that we start building healthier choices in our daily lives, and that we foster that balance within us before bringing it out into the world, because it's really where it starts. Health is self-care. Knowledge and health can allow us to self-care. And when we self-care, and I hope this resonates because I have chills right now, when we self-care, we don't need to escape from our life so much. And when we think of lack of health, compulsions, anxiety, whatever you can think of, that it is a lack of health, that we're out of balance, well, it's usually because there's anxiety and fear under it. So the more knowledge that we allow women and children to know about themselves, the more prevention work we can do, because we want to make health a sustainable system, not always us with the data and the knowledge showing how it should be done, because that's not sustainable. We have to educate so that people can actually understand their own health and take care of themselves. And I wish to all of you, as individuals evolving on this path, whether it's therapists or doctors or researchers, the fact that you're on the path of health and self-care, I hope and I invite you to look within and to self-care for you, because it's so important, and we're all in this together. And I also want to say that there are so many people that are involved in Women Deliver and in the conference. And when you come to think about it, the truth is in danger in some areas on the planet right now. We must make sure that we uphold the truth, that we are accountable for the truth, and that we share the truth before the truth buries us in many ways. And I think that in what you're doing in your own lives, you are truth bearers. You are carrying the truth. And let us be responsible for that truth, and let us protect it, because it will serve everyone. And there are so many, CEOs and decision makers right now around the world that are mostly men who are still making decisions. So let us invite the wise young boys and men on this path for more self-knowledge surrounding our own health, working at the source, at the core of who we can become as a humanity. And we believe in the work that you do profoundly. I believe in the work that you do profoundly. Don't let anything stop you. And I know it's not always easy for many reasons, but I think that right now we are really on a more luminous path and more trusting path concerning the scientific community. And I hope that you thrive, and we will delight in your success. Thank you for everything that you bring to our society. Thank you so much. Merci.